Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Christian. I'm just going to introduce you, and then the floor is all yours. I see people are in, so that's great. It's my great pleasure to introduce Christian Mühlroth here. I hope you said your name correctly. He's the CEO of Itonics, one of the leading innovation OS providers out there. And he actually holds a PhD in artificial intelligence and innovation management, and is going to let us know why we need tailored AI in corporate innovation and why we can't miss the unique edge of it. So without further ado, Christian, the floor is yours.
Exactly. Thanks. And also thanks everybody for joining. I appreciate it. You spelled my last name correctly. Just say Chris. So I'm Chris. I'm 13 years plus now in the innovation management space, which is quite some time. So we've seen quite a few things. It's correct. I also do hold my PhD at the intersection between artificial intelligence and innovation management. And I always say the disclaimer that was long before ChatGPT was a thing. So we played around with these early models, understanding how they would actually work and what potential they hold for innovation and also for innovation management. I'm also a member of the German Federal Association for AI. And yes, we do build the AI-powered innovation operating system for innovation-led growth. And the most thing I'm proud of is that just this year I won the Dad of the Year award, which was awarded, by my kids, at least. Yeah. But anyways, let me start off by saying that I believe that in a few years from now, we will look back at how companies innovated, and then we will think that this was very, very medieval. And I think we heard this a lot today and also yesterday. But it's not only about natural language generation, right? Tools like LLMs that are used to generate ideas at scale. This is helpful for sure. But I think there are much more opportunities. And AI for innovation is much more than just coming up with 100 times more ideas, 100 times faster than before. And of course, I get it. Innovation was meant to be super fun, right? Everybody wants to change the world one idea at a time. You have these big ideas, you're going and cheering each other. You're the best. You run all the competitions, ideation competitions. My idea is better than you. You get some cheerings that you go out on social media and share about the crazy projects and the fantastic ideas. No, of course. But there is a point in time where you need to get going. So it gets more serious. You create a business plan, you're running incubators, you get more money, you employ somebody for growth hacking and do all the crazy stuff. You do the pitch, and then at the end of the day, the market hits. So, of course, while innovation was meant to be fun, the reality, though, is it is tough, right? And let's be clear, innovation is not just about solving customer problems or crowdsourcing new ideas. Of course not. Anyways, who asked for ChatGPT? What customer problem was actually solved by ChatGPT, right? So I don't think it's a crowdsourcing problem. And there has been a few humans in the past. For example, this guy here, I'm just scribbling on the slides right now. This guy here, Thomas Edison, one human, 1,000 patents, so even more than 1,000 patents. Brilliant guy, genius in ingenuity for sure. But at the bottom here, you have 1,000 humans that I'm assuming now probably hold 0 patents. Yeah. So if it was true that innovation was about crowdsourcing the best ideas and then bringing them to market, is it actually true that we just need 100 more ideas and everything will be fine? Not too sure about that. Again, ChatGPT is a good example. Who asked for it? Did any big corporate run a ideation challenge with 10,000 of people and came up to build a chat interface to a very powerful large language model? I'm not quite sure. So what is it? And why do innovations fail? There is many reasons, but sometimes maybe you're just too early. So this is a great example from Apple. They actually released, in 1993, already a couple of years ago, they released the Message Pad 2100. And it totally failed. Why did it fail? Well, technology wasn't ready and technology adoption was not ready too. It was very clumsy. You had to charge it all the time. It didn't really fit in your pocket, and it kind of was not very handy. But then 14 years later, they came with the iPhone. Everybody knows the emergence of the iPhone, and they were super successful. Now they share some common features for sure, like a notepad and things like that. But technology progressed. It was similar idea to have an assistant, a personal pocket, something, a digital device you can write, but now you can put it in your pocket, you could phone with it, you can much more stuff. And it was just way more successful because people were ready and technology were ready, for sure. So being too early is one thing, but to be fair, sometimes products can also be just too stupid. I'm sorry for the blunt language, but there was an attempt to release this thing to the market in 2002. This should actually be some sort of, I don't even know, some virtual reality device, yeah, because you have something you can look at or look through, but of course it needs power. I don't know what this thing even is, maybe a hard disk drive, I don't know. So if you make your customers make look stupid, obviously this doesn't work at all too. And today, I mean, we've all seen this. I don't have time today to make the joke about this, but I think you get the point. Yeah. So what if I tell you that an artificial intelligence will be a better innovator than you in the future? Maybe it will require 0 humans, but technological progress will actually skyrocket. And every time we've seen more radical technology changes, they do render slow and expensive solutions obsolete very, very fast. You can go way back in time. Take the Pony Express, right? So really, real humans on real horsebacks trying to get a message, a letter, some sort of information from A to B, because there was no signaling, no other technology available. So the fastest you can get any information from city 1 to city 2 was by getting on the back of a horse and ride throughout the country, throughout the United States, and just get there as fast as you can. But as soon as the telegraph was invented, the Pony Express was dead in an instant. And the point I want to make is, it doesn't really matter if you like it or not, if you trust it or not, it still happens. And everyone who used it gained an immense advantage over the competition, because they literally could now transfer information from one individual to another in maybe seconds, minutes if at worst, instead of days. And I think we'll have a similar situation with artificial intelligence right now if we zoom out. So probably the most revolutionary thing about AI is that an algorithm is better at coming up with great ideas than we are already now. And if you think this is just an airy statement, let me tell you, there's actually scientific evidence and a growing body of scientific evidence supporting this. For example, a study done in 2023, last year, on the question, who has the more original ideas? So the task was that a group of humans and a group or a set of different models like Copy, GPT-4o, Studio, UChat, and a few other models have to come up with original ideas for how to handle an object. So for example, pants or a ball, tires, forks, a tooth, whatever. And so they gave humans and AI the task, and then the ideas that came out from this were actually rated without knowing who created which idea. So was it created by a human? Was it created by an AI? And the results are pretty stunning because, so for one, you have this green line here, which is the best and the most creative humans still won the competition. Same as with Thomas Edison. So yeah, they won. They have been rated by the most originality of the ideas. But then you see the yellow line here, which is the average human, which is below ideas in terms of originality created by GPT-4. So it's not even about creativity, it's really about originality. What ideas are more original than the others? And if this is just one of the many data points that emerge right now that actually tell us that the average human is already surpassed, and maybe they just didn't notice. So I think it becomes very evident that we need a new way to innovate, which means that really the rise of artificial intelligence marks the next evolution in innovation, in corporate innovation. And if we zoom out just a little bit, in the 2000s, we had all about agile and lean everything. We even had the 2001 Agile Manifesto, where we said, okay, well, screw project management, we just go agile and lean. Software development processes, I don't care, let's build agile teams and just roll. Yeah. Scrum and all that stuff, just maybe not emerged, but really got a push from that. So that was the 2000s. Then in 2010, innovation was focusing a lot on crowdsourcing-based approaches, which basically means get everybody in the room, get as many brains as you can connected, so tap into this collective intelligence of people, and kind of have a process for this, and then sort it out. Just get all the ideas. Ask 10,000 of your peers and employees and colleagues what to do, and then we'll magically find out the best idea, which is collective intelligence and crowdsourcing-based approaches to innovation. And I believe that since last year, or maybe even the year before, we entered an age of AI-powered innovation operating systems, which doesn't mean that you use ChatGPT for innovation. It's much more. What you actually need is custom and tailored artificial intelligence that knows your company and that knows your corporate environment. Very important. So you need three things. One thing you need is, of course, your data in all of this. So you need, information, and the AI needs to access information on your innovation funnel, the innovation portfolio, the ideas, the projects, the programs, and the initiatives you run, maybe your digitization roadmap, the strategies, all the input data, even on competitive intelligence and maybe trends you're watching, observing, and the strategies you're going to apply. So it needs to have this context. In our case, in the innovation operating system that we provide, we of course make sure it doesn't feed to any other data, so it's just very secure. On the other hand, what we can bring to the table is basically a world model of R&D and innovation intelligence. That means we bring scientific papers, patents, news, trends, technologies, and any other sort of inspiration to the table that will also make it accessible through your custom innovation AI. And then, of course, if you want, you can go in there and attach any third-party data that you already have licensed. For example, for the biomedical industry, this would mean access to PubMed, very specific databases, or to any third-party licenses, third-party databases you basically have license to. And then that's basically step number one. But with all the data, you can run a couple of use cases that you're definitely not able to run without an AI that's tailored to your environment. For example, one of the things is you can employ AI-powered scouting, for sure. You can monitor trends and technology completely autonomously. So instead of having trend and technology scouts going out there, Googling and trying to do stuff, because people don't have the bandwidth to do that manually, you can just let the AI system monitor trends, technologies, and even competitors. And if you want, you can get a summary in-app or directly to your email inbox with the latest and greatest. We actually did a study on this. I can send you the paper if you want to, where we found that about 45% of the information that this AI finds is actually new to domain experts with more than a decade of experience, which means it finds relevant stuff and it finds it ahead of humans. So you can be one step ahead of maybe peers in your industry. And of course, you can also run on AI-generated ideas, for sure. We've found cases, and again, I can share them with you, where we actually created winning concepts for innovation campaigns solely with an artificial intelligence that was tailored. And we didn't tell the evaluators that they were created by an AI. So we just pretended they were created by humans. And only after they invested into two of the innovation concepts, we told them that they actually haven't been created by any of their 25,000 individuals that contributed to it, but through an AI that was tailored to their specific environment, and that was kind of mind-blowing to them. And many other cases, but you need tailored AI for this. And the point is, if you're not using it, you can rest assured that soon maybe your peers or your competitors will use it. And I just want to share a couple of inspirations on how this already works today. So assume that you have all your data in a software system. So in that case, in the Atonic system, so you would collect all the information here on, I don't know, trends you're watching, ideas, innovation projects, ideation campaigns you run. So you have basically anything stored in Itonics, maybe even the projects and the portfolio and the funnel that you're looking at right now. So now in that case, with all the data and the context awareness, you can actually start prompting. And we've built the innovation GPT to help you do that. So you could ask, I'm zooming in here, you could ask it things like, what are the latest developments in generative AI, as an example. Now, because it is context aware and it kind of knows the scientific articles, the patents, and also news data, it goes back to all the databases and fetches the latest developments that were created and found in generative AI. So for example, it says, well, we've seen significant advances in these and those sources. So it provides you, for example, with a source by the World Economic Forum that says, what can we expect of next generation generative AI models? And you can work with the data and say, aha, that's interesting. I want to store this as an inspiration and share this with a couple of colleagues. And now it's stored in your Atonics database and you can actually work with it. Instead of asking ChatGPT for a call, and now you copy paste it into your OneNote or email. So that's very handy. You can also follow up and say, well, okay, according to the information that I have in Itonics, what work have we been doing on generative AI? And it gives you back projects that you're already working on. For example, a project that we call Innovation GPT, and you can directly access the project from this conversational interface and have a look at it. So if you think you have the good idea and you want to check out if this idea already exists in your innovation ecosystem, well, you can prompt the Innovation GPT to understand what work has already been done on generative AI and maybe join the movement. You can go deeper and we'll say, is there any update on the progress of the Innovation GPT we're working on? So you get a report by the Itonics Innovation GPT on the work that has been done on a project. So it says, well, the project is running in its exciting beta phase, is available for preview, and the system is showcasing its capabilities. Because it knows the project you're running on, it knows the ideas you have in your funnel, it knows your entire project roadmap. So it can access it, and now you can access the data in a much more engaging way than before. And of course, you can also say, well, are there any other related ideas to this? And it kind of shows you other ideas in the system. So for example, it found that there is an innovation gamification system, so you can play around with it. So, and that's the last sentence, but that is, the way why a custom GPT, in that case, an innovation GPT, is much more effective in helping you innovate, specifically in big corporates, than if you just would go to ChatGPT or something.
Thank you so much, Chris. Actually, the conversation will continue in a breakout room for 30 lucky participants or quick participants. Chris, I'm going to ask you to go to the breakout room first because it's the first 30 who go there.
I'll do.
And for the 29 remaining people, you can navigate at the top of your nav board. There's a little button called Rooms. I'll let Chris, if you could go first. Once Chris is gone, just click on the Rooms and you'll be asked to turn on your camera and your microphone, and you'll be able to chat and continue the discussion on the topic. If you don't make it in, you can come back to this room or the other one. For everybody else, just stay on the line and you will be brought over to the next session. So I will give you a chance to make it to the room. And in the meantime, if you're still here and still waiting, you can assess whether or not I'm an AI avatar. All right, see you in the next talk.